Scrolling through news websites on his home office computer, Kent Redfield, a former Illinois state government employee and retired professor, couldn't believe what he was watching unfold at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
This was an attack on the legitimacy and authority of government and the rule of law. And so it was just stunning. It really was disbelief and very difficult to get your head around.
Amid heightened security, activity at the Illinois State Capitol building in Springfield, where Redfield once worked, was noticeably quiet in the days following the riot at the U.S. Capitol. The implications of the attack increased Redfield's anxiety.
A really serious terrorist attack could have, crippled the United States government. When those sorts of things started to sink in, and the pictures of the representatives, sheltering in the galleries and stuff, it just, the gravity of it started to hit you.
Kirkwood, Illinois farmer Wendell Shawman watched the lawlessness at the U.S. Capitol unfold on his living room television.
I don't think we know the full story yet. Whether this was all Trump supporters that really stirred this up, or whether there was somebody else that took advantage of the opportunity to really raise havoc and raise hell, I don't know. I think that time will tell on that, hopefully.
Recent events and President Donald Trump's role in them, including his rejection of the presidential election results, have Shawman reevaluating his support for the man he voted for in 2016 and 2020.
It's certainly gone down. I still, you can't discount what he did over the 4 years. I think the country, for a large part, is better off for it. He did not leave gracefully.
It must admit, I would worry that we're coming to the end of what I call democratic principles that we've understood and taken for granted for most of my life.
Longtime Illinois bookseller John Paul has a deep appreciation for history. His bookstore, Prairie Archives, is near the old Capitol building in Springfield, where in 1858, former President Abraham Lincoln delivered his famous House Divided speech. The address explored America's deep division over the wrongs of slavery ahead of the U.S. Civil War. John Paul believes Lincoln would mourn the current political divide in a union so many gave their lives to preserve.
Well, I'm reasonably convinced that he would be extremely shocked. Throughout the entire political history of the United States, we've never had issues that were like this. So,
Paul hopes a sense of national unity can be rekindled by President-elect Joe Biden, who appeared in front of Paul's bookshop when then presidential candidate Barack Obama introduced him as his running mate in 2008. Paul says much has changed during the 12 years since, and he worries about damage done to the credibility of the U.S. election process and whether Biden can effectively govern a politically fractured nation.
The extreme right wing is going to reject any sense that Biden is a legitimate president, and this is just going to make his job much more difficult in trying to convince the public that he is and that he's trying to work on their behalf. All we can hope for is that it doesn't stay the same way that it is.
Paul's hopes will be put to the test beginning January 20th, when Trump departs the White House and Biden takes the oath of office to become president. Kane, Farabaugh, VOA News, Springfield, Illinois.
They're the people. They're the people.